With lessons learned the hard way on the OFW debacle in Saudi Arabia over the last 2 years, the Philippine government is playing it safe in the ongoing Qatar isolation issue by withholding a mass deployment of OFWs to the embattled desert monarchy. PTV's Julius Sambron reports on the steps being taken by the government to mitigate the adverse effects this issue is visiting on our overseas labor force and its recognition of how Murphy's Law works in the affairs of men.
It may still be too early for the Department of Labor and Employment to decide on the deployment ban of Filipino workers in Qatar. But ex-OFW party list Representative Aniceto Bertiz III expressed his support on the step of the government aiming to prevent thousands of Filipinos from being trapped again in the midst of conflict in the Middle East. Unlike in past administrations when they had to wait for the number of deployed workers to rise before acting on the situation. However, there is the need for both Labor and Foreign Affairs departments to coordinate and review their decision with their counterparts in Qatar under the one-country team approach to properly prepare for the mass repatriation if the need arises. The Solon emphasized that now is the time to reactivate the Middle East preparedness team, which was once led by then Ambassador and now Environment Secretary Roy Simatu. Bertiz added that the next Mid-East team leader must have the experience and can understand the situation of the OFWs.
Ipag-coordinate din po tayo sa POEA at DOLE at sa mga recruitment agency na bigyan tayo ng inventory. Lahat ng mga workers nila at dapat mayroong mga contact numbers yan just in case paano yung magiging evacuation plan natin.
It can be recalled that the visits of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte in the Gulf states proved to be successful and strengthened the diplomatic relations with Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and Qatar. The presidential trips resulted to million-dollar investments in the Philippines, especially by Qatar. Being a modern country, OFWs in Qatar also experienced lesser problems compared to other Middle East countries. Earlier, Qatar expressed support to President Duterte's move against terrorism.
Napakalaki rin ng investment ng Saudi government, UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain sa Qatar because this is a very booming country in preparation na rin sa FIBA World Cup in 2020. So I don't think na gagrabe to or mauuwi to sa isang gera.
Malacanang also announced that the government is ready to help affected Filipino workers based in Qatar, a move which Bertiz lauded and considered as a pro-OFW stance of the administration.
Naramdaman at nakita mismo ni Secretary Bello kung gaano kahirap ang sitwasyon ng ating mga kababayan sa Saudi Arabia, yung mga nasa istraha, nasa mga shelter, halos nagkakasakit, di ba? So ayaw niya ring maulit itong mga nangyari doon sa mga nakarang administrasyon.
For the Nation, Julius de Samburon.